Good morning, folks. Today is Wednesday, May 13th, 2020. It is early in the morning my time. It's not super early yet, but getting up before 5 is back on the agenda real soon here. Um I I want to take a minute and talk about personal accountability because I kind of had this thought last night. You know, I spent the last 6 months behaving like a loser. And that's a strong statement. Let me quantify that statement of loser. So when I say loser, I'm not saying that from a point of judgment, right? I'm not saying loser as in this is something that is bad or a statement about who this person is, being me, or what I'm about. I'm simply using that term as it relates to strategies, okay? The world is presented before us, and it is what it is. We cannot change. I want to be careful about that. What's presented to us is going to be. Now we can flow with it, right? And we can do things to it, sure. But look, I'm not going to stop the world from spinning. I'm not going to shorten how many hours it takes for a day. There's some things that are simply beyond our control. So when I talk about behaving like a loser, I'm talking about were the strategies that I was taking winning strategies? Were these strategies that could take me closer to a goal? But so when you get in that mind frame, one of the things that happens is, first of all, it is easy to forget what your longer term goals can be, and you start to have shorter term goals, real short term goals, like eat this pie right now because it tastes good, right? That is a goal. The goal is to achieve this sensation in your mouth, achieve this sensation of flavor, right? Is the goal to stay sleeping in your bed? The goal is this feels comfortable. Let me do this goal right now, right? Is the goal to numb myself right now because I'm frustrated and dealing with other things. I've started to give up. I've started to forget why I'm doing these things. So, is the goal to try to numb myself with video games or TV or what have us, right? Whatever we have. Okay. Some of those short-term goals are going to be very, very counterproductive to our long-term goals, right? So, we're shitting on our future self for the sake of our present self. And while it seems to make sense in the moment, right? Or maybe you just give up, but you're like, I'm trying to quantify this because it was a really big aha moment for me last night. It was really good. Um, yeah, accountability, man, accountability. Uh, but accountability with compassion, right? So this idea of this was just my strategy, right? This is not about beating yourself up for what you did or didn't do. This is about just recognizing this was not a winning strategy, right? Every day. Here's another shitty reality. Now maybe it's not shitty. Here's just another reality. When it comes to procrastination, right? We always think tomorrow, tomorrow. Um, the universe is all presented in cycles, right? You think about it. The galaxies, from my understanding, are spinning, right? That whole thing is cycling. Then our solar system is spinning, and it's a very consistent cycle, right? Our day-night cycle, that's very consistent. So here I am getting so impatient, right? Because I want the weight loss stuff to happen right now. During those times that you're not engaging in whatever your strategy is, you're losing out on those cycles are continuing to happen and they're just gone. They're just gone, right? So yesterday, when I'm getting my exercise in, I exercised until what I believed was my healthy limit. The exercise I was doing, I was playing Beat Saber. I went back into it 3 times, and I would just play till my arms were just gassed, and I was having so much fun, like so much endorphin, so good. And so I had a session in the morning before work. I had a session at lunch, and then nope, scratch that. Yesterday was not before work. Session at lunch, session immediately after work, and then another late evening session. And every time it was like I'm just craving to get back to doing that thing, right? And there's only so much that my shoulders are going to take, and then I just had to let them rest. Because the mechanisms at play, the healing or whatever, the relaxing, I don't even know what all of it is. That all takes time to re-go. So, I stopped lifting for those 6 months. I'm not getting that back, right? Those are missed cycles, right? So that's the lie we tell ourselves about procrastination, is that we can still do the thing tomorrow. Yes, that's true, but from now till tomorrow, that is a cycle that is gone, right? There's only so many things we're going to do in our lifespan, period, right? And that's a freaky ass thing to contemplate our lifespan and the fact that the damn thing comes to an end for everyone every time, period, right? And so being able to maximize your time and live it the way you want. Now, if you've decided, and I have been there, if you've decided how you want to spend that time is eating, boozing, doping, playing video games, whatever. Okay, I get it. But here's the thing I realize every single time I restart this. I remember that this little bit of pain, and when I talk about pain, I'm not talking about physical pain, I'm talking about the sort of emotional, angsty pain, the sort of the way we fight with ourselves where we're like, I don't want to do this sucks, this is boring, right? It's usually pretty short-lived. I believe that some of that is based on bad wiring. Here's for instance, when we're little kids, when we're 2, when we're 3, our parents are introducing foods to us and they're like, look at how that tastes, look at how that tastes, look at how that tastes. Is anybody having conversations with even they're like 3, 4, 5 with, hey, we had, some healthy treat, right? And afterwards being like, how do you feel? What's your energy like? Or do you feel good? Yay! Or if they have ice cream, right? And they're tired and they're cranky or whatever from sugar, right? How do you feel? Oh, you're grumpy. Well, that ice cream tasted good, but hey, the fact that you're grumpy right now, believe it or not, has to do with that. Nobody's having those conversations, right? So we don't necessarily wire that stuff up. This is, again, my opinion, my observation, right? So because we've got this bad wiring, then we're not, in my circumstance, not seeing how important it is, right? And so you forget, you take and you go after those short-term goals instead, right? And then you're like, I don't want to do that thing, it sucks. So I'm day 4 on meditation. I got 2 sessions in yesterday. They're just 11-minute sessions. Now, people have been telling me to do meditation for, well, at least 6 months, but I'm sure people were telling me about that before, right? Sorry, I'm having trouble getting the right angle on this. Camera stands in the mail. Any day. At first time doing meditation, in those first couple minutes, I wanted to scream. Every time I thought about going to do the meditation, I'm trying to talk myself into it. Why do you got to talk yourself so hard into like, this thing's only going to last 10 minutes? And it takes me months to convince myself to sit down for 10 minutes. What are the mechanisms at play there? Somebody told me to stop asking those types of questions because they don't necessarily serve you. So I start the meditation. Want to scream, like, but then it's done, and you're like, whew, why did I fight so hard, right? Last night, same deal. I'm halfway through it, right? And my mind starts like, argh! And I had to really kind of pull myself back into it. But this morning, I'm like, oh yeah, it's helping tremendously, like tremendously. So, man, why did I start telling you that? Sorry, I lost my train of thought again. Oh yeah. We think we don't want to do these things, right? For whatever reason, we associate pain with it, at least for me. And what I have found every single time that I commit to doing something, as long as I keep it in balance, right? The exercise I did last year, we'll call last year, I took it out of balance. I did for a lot of reasons, okay? I should have notched it back when my joints were hurting, only to a point where they weren't hurting, and I should have layered in some other things. The yoga's staying. Oh, that's the other thing. 2 days in on yoga now. It's legit. It is legit. I can feel in my muscles after I do the yoga very similar feelings to after lifting. Now, when I'm doing the yoga, all the rushes you get with lifting aren't there, but I think that's part of the benefit because you have to kind of force. I'm working on some of my terminology because forcing yourself is kind of a rough way. I have to train myself. To be at peace and be calm with the thing that I'm doing, right? Even though it's very hard. So you lift and you're like, bam, bam, like it's explosive. And even you can slow it down. With yoga, you're just holding, right? And that takes a little more mental presence, and you don't get that like, whoa, sensation. So, all right, that's it for today. The way I convey my thoughts with this are gonna get better. I can feel it getting better. They're clarifying. So we're just gonna keep rolling with it. And again, it has to come this kind of free form way. I'm sorry I lose my train of thought. I'm sorry if I leave loose ends out there. But well, let's be honest. Talking into a phone like this is not an easy thing, I don't think, for anyone. And so it's funny because I'll be sitting and I've got these ideas and they're so clear. And as soon as I turn the thing on and start trying to speak them out loud, they get fuzzier and I start going off in my own mind. But that's part of the process also, right? Training myself on what to do with that. This process is helping me, and I sincerely hope that anybody who is watching this is able to get something from it as well. Have a great day, guys.